Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Thoughts for the Soul podcast. This one has been in the making for quite some time now. 2 years. I want to say, this 26. I want to say 2 years, probably 2 years for sure. So I'm gonna have my special guests to introduce themselves today.
Hey, what's going on, man? My name is David Landry. I'm one half of CLASS Bookstore. Um, man, I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
I'm the guest, but I appreciate you for
Nah, man, like we're gonna get into it, man. So for those who may not be familiar with Class Bookstore, talk about you know, you don't have to go to the deepest roots of
he said
but
keep it
get
keep
let
it
let's
short.
get let's get the abbreviated version of like how like the idea behind it.
I think the idea behind CLASS Bookstore, people ask us all the time because we spell the name out in all caps.
Right.
Why is it like that? The reason why it's like that is because number one, it's easy to remember, it's evocative, it's reminiscent of MF Doom, all caps. But class is a multi-level concept. So like class, when you think of class, you think of literacy, you think of knowledge, you think of books. um Class also talks about the class system, right?
Okay.
When you think of social strata.
Okay.
But class is also how you conduct yourself, and so we want to connect that with books. So when you're around books, you conduct yourself with class.
See, that's this we got a triple entendre going on here. Okay, so nah, break that because I didn't know that. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
what went into the name.
What?
So break that. Like, why was that an important thing?
I mean, like many things, it's multi-level, multi-tiered, right? Even the way that we present product in the shop, right? So I learned this from a documentary I watched called the knowledge of the super brands or something like that. You can find it on YouTube. You dig? And basically it was like, it drew like a pyramid with 3 levels, and it used Louis Vuitton as an example, right?
Okay.
So like Louis Vuitton is a high fashion brand based out of France, started in the 1800s, whoop de whoop. Well, the products that they sell is on 3 different levels. So the top tier level, the top of the pyramid, is basically like your high cost, like priceless products.
Right.
When they talk about, oh, we have this chair that has embroidered upholstery. We only made 20 of them in the
Right.
whole world.
Right.
It costs 150 racks, da 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 da, right? So that's top level. Then mid level is okay, to luggage. It's the backpacks. It's the shoes, the Louis Vuitton Dons. It's that stuff, right? Right in the middle, okay? And then at the bottom, it's, hey man, I can't afford none of that other stuff, but let me get this keychain. Cause I still want to stunt on niggas when I walk in. Can I say nigga? I still want to stunt on people. You can blurt that out. I still want to stunt on people when I step in the spot and they see the LV, or it's a belt
Right.
with the buckle, the LV. It's those things, the shades. I saved up a couple checks to get that, but it didn't break my pocket.
Right.
And so it's the same thing with us, right? So when you come in the CLASS Bookstore, and you'll see the B-roll, we'll have books, of course, but it's also merch, right? It's t-shirts, it's jackets, it's cardigans, but it's also stickers and buttons and lapel pins, and it's also free books. Like we're probably the only store in the loop that just gives books away. Like just gives them away. Like you come in, we have a cart and it says free books. Please take them. Like please take them. Because we have people in our community, in our ecosystem that understand the value of books. They don't want to throw them away.
Right.
So they give them to us with the hope that they'll find a new home. And in their mind, they're like, hey, I have extinguished my use of this book. I don't want to toss it. So let me make sure it finds a new home. I know a person, I know a business, I know people that can make that connection for me. I don't have the time. I got to go and do what I need to do. And so we facilitate those other connections for them. We act as sort of like, if you've read The Tipping Point or Outliers or any of Malcolm Gladwell's work, he talks about the maven, right? The go-between, the concierge. And so we act as that. We are concierge of wisdom, of knowledge, of literacy.
Man, okay. You just took us to school, but you know, hey,
To class, to class.
Took us to class. Pun intended. Like, and it's interesting how you tied in hip hop, you tied in fashion,
Word.
you tied in the, like you said, class system that we have in, especially in this country, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the literal, some of the essentials that you may need for class,
Mhm.
right? And then you have your, like you said, your tiered way of how you present whatever it is that you all want to put out into the world. Then you said, like, the community part, another community part of it is the free books, right? So what what does, I want to ask this question, like, and I couldn't ask this to many people. What does a book mean to you in 2026? What does a book mean to you?
A book to me, I'm gonna take a quote from one of my favorite movie, like top 3 movies, Kingdom of Heaven. Orlando Bloom plays the main character, and it's set during the Crusades
Okay.
between the Christians and the Muslims, right, in Jerusalem. And Salahuddin, who is the leader of the Muslim army, has just taken over Jerusalem, beat the brakes off the Christian army, beat the brakes off. And Balin, who is the leader of the Christians, comes out, Orlando Bloom, and they doing their terms. And, you know, Balin asks Salahuddin, he says, what does Jerusalem mean to you? And Salahuddin says, nothing. And he walks off and he looks back and he says, everything. So to me, it's the same thing with books, man. It's nothing but everything to me.
Okay. Okay. And so what makes a book everything to you? Like, you know, when we were growing up, I know you remember sometime they used to play, like, it was an audio book, but it was a tape.
Yeah.
And they have it in the little tape player,
Yeah.
right? Right. So they'll take the little cassette, put it in a little tape player,
Mm-hmm.
and when the teacher didn't want to work that day, she just wanted to, like, all right, I'm out y'all hair, y'all out my hair. I don't care if y'all go to sleep. I'm putting this tape on, y'all listen to it,
Yeah.
and I'm finna sit up here at my desk, do what I want.
In my day, it was a record.
It was okay, so a record.
Yeah, she put a record
So we
on.
had the little brown box tape player, just a real cassette tape player.
Yeah.
So, you know, we had audio books that way, right? Now it's more digital, but the power of a book, man, like, to be able to touch, to feel, right?
Yes.
What does that represent for you right now? Because we're so digitized. And I feel like, I know I listen to audiobooks. It's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
I love podcasts, so I listen to an audiobook like it's a podcast. It's convenient, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's nothing like touching,
Yes.
feeling the texture of the pages,
Yes.
looking at the, you know, actually reading
Yes.
the information that's in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that represent to you today?
So look at what you said. You said it's looking, touching, feeling, right? Some people even engage through smell. Oh man, I love the smell of a book. You know, like people say that. People say that about sneakers.
Right.
Right. And so it's like you're engaging your senses.
Yeah.
It's a reminder of your humanity.
Right.
That's what books mean. It's a reminder of your humanity on a sensory level, on an empirical level, and on a metaphysical level, because guess what? You're reading someone's work that you've never met.
Yeah.
And you're getting their values, their morals, their concerns about life, the things that their dreams, their aspirations. Like, you're getting all of that. And whether it's a fictional book or a non-fictional book, you're still getting the essence of that author. So that's what a book really means, dog. Like, it really just means you're engaging on a physical, visceral level, but you're also engaging on a metaphysical level too.
Let's talk about the community, man. Like,
What about the community?
community,
The community. That's how I say it now.
man.
Community.
Let's talk about it. Like, how do you feel Class Bookstore is immersed in the community?
I think you used the right word. We're immersed. We are imbued by community. When we opened our space in 2022, I mean, the people, our people came out. Let me put emphasis on that. Our people came out. Family, friends, people who we met along the way, they came out. Now, after that first month, January 2023, it was like a drop off.
Okay.
And I think it was because we just was like, oh, people just gonna come. It's a bookstore. We was in the newspaper. We was on the front page of the Houston Chronicle.
Okay.
Like, of the star part of the Chronicle, right? And we were like, we on.
Yeah.
Bars is coming. The books is finna come off. Like Pimp C say, they coming off.
He wasn't talking about books.
No.
He wasn't talking
No. But it was coming up though.
coming out.
And man, that first month, we was like, yo, we finna go on the holidays when the holiday season was good. Sold some books. And then January hit and it was like torpedo. And man, I remember me and my wife sat in these chairs and we looked up and cried, bro. Like, we was crying like babies.
Man.
Like, God, why? What happened? Like, yo, I thought you said we was gonna make it. And then God was like, you remember all them emails you picked up the first couple years when y'all was doing pop-ups? Where them emails at? Create a constant contact and reach out to them folks. And so we was like, okay. Learn about it. Learn constant contact. Dara was already using it for her job.
Right.
And I created an account for Class, and we just and send out emails, newsletter. Hey, we out here in Third Ward, right by TSU's, campus. We about a 5-minute drive from U of H. Come pull up on us. We here. And all of a sudden, saw a couple people come in. Oh, I just got your email. Man, I remember y'all was doing pop-ups. Man, y'all got a brick and mortar. This is exciting.
Right.
And 1 became 2, 2 became 4, 4 became 8. And it just slowly trickled, And then it was like, okay, now we got a little bit of motion. We still was doing pop-ups. And then at the pop-ups, we like, yo, by the way, we got a brick and mortar now. Oh, y'all got a brick and mortar? Yes. Okay, where y'all at? Oh, we in Third Ward right next to TSU. Oh, that's right up the street from. So it was that.
Started. Okay.
Yes. And then we was like, okay, we gotta do something to like draw people in
Right.
at the shop. So what could we do? Okay, that's when poetry night came. So first Sunday poetry night, it was like, that was something. And then that was community activated because the elder that runs it, he's a poet. He's been doing poetry longer than I've been alive. Shout out to Mr. CT. I know you're gonna see this, 'cause I'm gonna send him the link. But that brother, he is a community, lives in the community. He was in the Marines, went away, lived in New York for a while, came back to Houston, sent his son to college. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he's rooted. So brought him in, and then, you know, brought some other folks in, found out some of those folks knew some of my other people. So it really just was like just staying in the mix.
Got you.
And just and really just stirring it up, and then boom, it popped off like dynamite.
Okay, so you started the timeline. What did you say? 2022, and then 2020 by January 2023,
No motion,
no motion, right?
none.
Y'all started to curate your email list, your newsletter, and everything. Then you just told us the intricate part that OG played, right? Now, what's the timeline now that it's starting to, it's starting to balloon, start to grow?
I think that you know, so 2023, June 2023, we did our first poetry night.
Okay.
And once we did the first poetry night, that was a watershed moment because of two reasons. First reason was it gave elders a spot to come through. Because the elders, they love books, they know books, they rock with books. But it gave them a spot to come to, and it gave them an alternative to the poetry that was already out. The poetry that, you know, that they were against. You know, the spots where it's a lot of hookah smoke in the air, it's a lot of profanity, it's a lot of derogatory, you know, and when you get to a certain age, you don't want to be around that. So they made that very abundantly clear, right? So, I mean, we've been doing poetry night here for, we just turned, I don't want to date your podcast, but like, you know, we've been in the mix 3 years.
Okay.
3 years. And so like, it's our longest running event here at Class. We love it because the elders treat us like their grandchildren. They give us granny handshakes. I mean, for real, like they give us granny handshakes. Like we had one lady come in, she's an elder doctor, a holistic doctor. And she pulled up and she saw we had a table of refreshments, you know, fruits, vegetables, charcuterie board, you know, snacks, you know what I'm saying? And some, you know, waters and stuff and tea, right? And she was like, how do y'all take care of all this? I was like, oh man, you know, we just take a little bit out of the cash register and, you know, whoop-de-whoop. She was like, oh, okay. Reached in her purse and her pocketbook and gave me one of these joints. You know? Use that for the next one. And it was a $50 bill. She ain't want no books. She ain't want nothing. She was just like, yo, y'all use that toward the mission. It's like, what can you do with that? You know? What do you do with that? You just you say thank you. You express your gratitude and you keep pushing.
Correct. Oh, man. And so the space that you have, it's, it's not, the bookstores that we grew up in, right?
Word.
This is nothing like your average or typical bookstore. What was the idea behind that? What was the inspiration, I should say?
Well, so in 2012, which was 8 years before, you know, in 2012, I started catching that bug of wanting to open a sneaker shop.
Okay.
And so like, you know, I think everybody who's in the sneaker community
is always
want to have their own shop. They want to have their own boutique. They want to have their own clothing line, something, right? Because that's what hip hop does. Like when you were part of that hip hop community, you want to do something. You want to rap, you want to DJ, you want to graffiti art, you want to spin on your head, you want to do something, right? So for me, my mother and father were both entrepreneurs. So like, I was like, well, shucks, man, it's in me. Let me see if I can try. So I wrote a business plan. I wrote my own business plan. And in the business plan, there was no books. It was just streetwear.
Okay.
It was sneakers, it was clothes, hats, and that was it, right? And it was gonna be called Class. and it was gonna be a 2-story house, and I was gonna buy the house in the Heights, and just trick it out and make it a shop.
That's crazy. So you took that original idea
Mm-hmm.
and you infuse it into the space that we have now. And it's interesting as you say that because of the different thing, like artwork. We got Comiskey art right here.
Shout out to Comiskey.
We got, vintage shoes, original shoes in here. And so it's all tied in together, man. And which is why another reason why I wanted to have you on is because I know how, like, just immersed you are in the culture. Like, you're just in the culture. You're in the community, you're in the culture, you're of the culture, you're of the community. I want to ask you, we're going to get into the kicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's in the bag today, man? I'm not even finna. I just want to know what's in the bag.
Well, y'all gotta see the bag. This is the bag.
Supreme. What?
North Face.
Do you know what? Do you know when it's released?
Man, I don't know, bro. It probably was. It had to be in 2020. It was pandemic. It was probably pandemic times, because there was a point I was buying something on Supreme every week during the lockdown. Like, my wife would tell you, she had to come in the room and have an intervention with me.
Like,
bro.
We getting off the side. You can't be on that.
So what happened? Like, I bought the Supreme folding chair.
Okay.
The red chair, because I was like, man, we need another chair in here. And she's like, why are you buying a chair? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And it had to be the Supreme one.
Oh, yeah. It had to be the red Supreme chair. All our other furniture was red, so I felt like, well, it
fit right in,
dog. And she was like, David, you're spending so much money on Supreme. It's not even like, what are you doing? I was like, okay. I just, and I think a lot of us felt that same feeling. We just had cabin fever, and we just wanted, like,
to be connected and to connect to something.
Right. Yeah. And jolts of dopamine will do that for you.
Correct, yeah.
Because you get that package. We have, shouts out to Mr. Thomas of UPS. I mean, like we got to know that dude. Right. He was literally coming every week.
Every week.
And he was an elder black man, and he had a piece and chain, like a solid piece and chain that he would wear to work.
With his uniform.
Yeah. And so, yeah, like, he brought that chair. Daryl was like, what are you doing? Like, you are ridiculous. You need to stop. And so I was just like, okay. I was like, man, and so I just stopped. Yeah. So I think this was one of those purchases.
During that era,
yeah. 2020, probably 2019, 2020, around that. Yeah. So this is the bag. You asked me what's in the bag. There are sneakers in the bag. I mean, I guess you want me to just
let's get into what we're gonna go one by one and what each one means to you.
Okay, I'm gonna just pull them
in your class theorem that you had.
My theorem?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me
okay. All right, well okay. All right. Hey man.
He told me to just pull it,
I ain't mad at it, man. You got some, okay.
And I have a pair on, so I'm not gonna pull them off my feet, but I have. So I'll just start with the pair. I'll start with the oldest pair that I have in my collection that I still wear. This is the 420 Skunk Dunk from 2010, 2009.
Yeah, around that time.
So basically, like, the story behind this shoe, I bought them at a shop that's no longer open called The Source. They were over in Rice Village, about a block up from Premium Goods, right across the street from where Space Village is. And so I used to go in there pretty frequently. Like I used to just go in there, chop it up with the owner, chop it up with the workers, bought watches there, bought other shoes. Man, I had a pair of, you remember this brand called Lakia, Likia skates? Okay.
Yeah.
I bought a pair of shoes that was Where the Wild Things Are collab. They were black with purple
Like the
detail.
book, like the after,
the
like
book,
the, like out
dog.
the book.
The Maurice Sendak book.
Crazy.
And it was black with like you gonna find a picture, you're gonna put it right here. It was a collab they did with that shoe, with that story, and I wore that shoe into the ground, bruh. It was just a dope sneaker, dope concept. As you know, I'm a reader, so I remember that book. And then the movie had came out. I don't know if you remember that, the live action film.
Yeah, the film, yeah.
So I think it was done in conjunction with that or the anniversary of the book as a collabo. Okay. But like, yeah, I had this. But anyway, so one day I walk in and the owner had just received the shipment, and the shipment, had came in, and he was pulling boxes. And I was like, oh, I said, man, do you mind if I take a look? He was like, no, I don't mind. It was a bunch of blue boxes. It was a bunch of blue Nike SB boxes. And I'm flipping through and I opened it up and I was like, yo, you got these. You got the. Now, I just saw them on Hypebeast.
Right.
So, for those that don't know, Hypebeast, I was like a regular. When I would get up in the morning and turn on the computer, the first thing I'm looking at is Hypebeast. The first thing I'm looking at on my phone is Hypebeast. Like, boom. So I had it like saved in my phone. Like, I'm going to get these shoes. I don't know how I'm going to get these shoes, but I'm going to get these shoes. And I go to the source and I find them. And I was like, yo, I need these. So he was like, man, they don't come out till 4/20. And that was a Friday that year. So I was like, I got to go to work. I said, man, I'll put half down on it right now. And the dude looked at me like you looking at me now. And he was like, bet. So I paid half in cash. He wrote me like a slip and was like, yo, he said, if your size sells out this weekend, I know nothing of this. I can confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
So you better come. I said, I'm coming. So at the time, my girlfriend at that time, who was my wife now, I told her, I said, yo, before I go to work, I gotta go get these things. And so like at the time, I didn't have a car. I was riding a bus. So she took me to the spot and I walked in, paid the man the rest of the bread. I got the sneaker and I had him at work with me all day. And I would take breaks
just to look
at the shoe in the break room. This was my first Nike SB that I still have. I had I'm gonna tell you what shoe that I had before this one. I had the I don't know if it came out before or right after. The Stefan Janowski. The OG Janowski.
Okay.
With the leather laces. With the leather laces. I had those. But this is the
It's one of the ones, man. I can't even lie to you. Like that's one of the ones.
Yeah, man. So still wearable, still soft soles.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of sole separation, but ain't nothing
it's nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. Normal wear. Okay, next shoe. Where do you go?
I wanna that, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I bought these not when they came out. This is the Nike Dunk High NLs from Undefeated. These were designed by Chris Gibbs from Union, and I've worn them once.
Only one time?
Well, remember, I didn't buy these when they came out.
Right.
So I'll tell you the story how I got them. So there is a dude out in Canada curated van.
Yeah, I know. Right.
So I'm up one night late and I'm looking. I'm just looking, dog. Like just doom scrolling probably. And I look and I was like, yo. And then I saw the price. And I was like, oh, I've never seen them this low before. I've never seen them this low before. So I was like, okay, let me put my nickels and dimes together. Let me move some savings to checking. It wasn't no crazy. Let me say it like this. It wasn't like,
crazy.
right. But this shoe was crazy.
Yes, sir.
Man, I remember when I first saw this shoe online on Hypebeast, probably, or what's my other joint? Heights, but probably Nice Kicks.
I was about to say that because I know that like hype beast, but Nice Kicks was for me. Nice Kicks was Nice Kicks and 23 is back was the two I just absolutely just went to.
High Snobiety.
How's Nobody and the Shoe Gang. That was another one I went to. The Shoe Gang was another one that I was crazy about.
So yeah, so this shoe, I'm sure I saw it on one of them sites, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get that shoe, but I'm gonna get it. And I didn't realize, oh well, shucks, you got to know what a sneaker boutique is, you know. So in 07, when I'm in my senior year of college, the first sneaker boutique I get put onto was Premium Goods. But I think this shoe came out in like 05, which is when Premium Goods came to Houston. And I mean, it would have been no way for me to get the shoe because I had no knowledge of it. And I wouldn't have had the bread because I was in college and I was broke and I didn't have, the piece of job I had wouldn't have been enough to even try to cop this. And I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't have I didn't have the education.
The knowledge of it at the time.
I didn't.
Right.
I didn't have the education, but I'm glad this shoe came back around for me. So yeah, this is the joint, man. And I got all the laces.
Oh, you got the laces, the original laces?
Oh yeah,
too?
I got OG all. OG box. Yeah. Shoes, soft sole.
Nah, and the leather
It's
stuff.
nice.
The leather stuff.
The leather
It's
is
very good condition for the age of this shoe.
yeah. So yeah, man. Shouts out to Curated Van, bro. Curated Van. All right, what's the next one? Well, I think the shoe on my foot. So the shoe on my foot is a Travis Scott Mochas. So I'm in I'm in school for fashion merchandising. I have an associate's degree. I technically I have 4 degrees.
4 degrees.
I have a certification in fashion from the Fashion Institute of Technology Complex when they did their program.
Oh, okay.
With Yellow Brick.
Okay, with Yellow Brick.
So
you did that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the sneaker one.
Okay.
I also did associates in fashion merchandising from Houston City College. Used to be community college. I did my bachelor's in theater and my master's in theater.
Okay.
So that's my level of education. So I'm in my associate's program, and I was super heavy on sneaker Twitter at the time. Like super heavy, dog. Like couldn't nobody tell me nothing. Nothing. I'm in class. It's final exams. It's like presentations. So we're getting up, do presentations. I did my presentation first. I wanted to get it out the way. Done. I'm sitting in class, and I get a buzz on my phone, and all it was a sneaker Twitter, and then I clicked it, and it showed a picture of the Travis Scott and a link. I clicked the link, took me to Travis Scott's website. I click on, to type in my information. I'm like, yo, this is happening. But I already know it's going to sell out. So I'm not even tripping. Mm-hmm. I'm typing it, hand typing.
Yeah. It ain't copy. It
no.
Ain't autofill.
No. I'm just typing on my phone. Click. I go to the next page. Ask me for my payment info. I'm like, I'm stumbling for the card. I'm just like, I know I ain't going to get it. Let me go and just accept the inevitable. I get to the next page, confirm the address, do the captcha.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm really not gonna get it now. Got to click all the bugs. Click the bug that matches this one. I'm like, okay. Wow. Then I see the Wheel of Death. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not going. Congrats.
Come from it. Yeah. And then you got your order number.
Got my order number. And bruh, everything within me was like, don't yell. You are watching final exam presentations. You are in class. I was like, I just gotta get out of the sky. I just got to Travis Scott. So I get out of class and I hop in the whip and I'm talking to my wife. I was like, yo, I just got the Travis Scott's. She was like, what? I was like, yeah, I got to show her the thing. She was like, yo, you said you was gonna get. I was like, yo, I didn't know how, but I'm grateful. So the sneakers come. Now I'm pretty sure you remember at Space Village, it was cats.
Oh yeah.
Camped out.
Yeah, for sure.
All night long.
Yeah.
So I get the shoes, and where was I? Oh, I was on my way to graduation. I wore them to graduation. So, because it was around that time, it was like Travis Scott's birthday, which is in May. And so graduation came, I got my shoes, and I told Dara, I said, man, pull up to Space Village. I gotta go stunt hard. So I'm literally in my graduation robe and my mortarboard, which is the hat, and the shoes. And I got out, I dapped up one of my homies, man, RIP, Dope Pics. Big tall dude, 6'4", 6'5", solid, about 280, 300.
Mm-hmm.
I dapped him up. He was like, yo, what's good? Da-da-da, whoop-de-whoop. And then he looked down.
Yep.
And then everybody looked down.
Yep.
And they was like, yo, how did you? I said, man, I got him off the site. He said, nah, you playing. I said, nah, I'm serious, man. Hey. He said, yo, and it was that moment that you feel when everybody's like, oh, for that moment, you king of the day.
Yeah, I got you.
So that's what this shoe represents. This pair of sneakers is probably the most important pair of sneakers in my entire collection.
This pair right here.
The Air Max 97 Undefeated from 2017.
Okay.
Complex Con exclusive.
Yeah.
Right? So me and my wife went to Complex Con for the first time, 2017. This was the second year. The first year was in Long Beach. Second year was in Long Beach. But like the first year was when like Nike was everywhere. It was all over. It was crazy. Second year still had Nike, but they had other brands. They had a lot of like exclusive brands that, was coming up, and like new brands that were like just making their mark, right? Like I remember that was the first time I met Kid Super.
Okay.
And I met the dude, like I met the curly hair cat, and he was like, yo, I got a brand, it's called Kid Super, you should check it out. Like, and he had, I think, 2 racks of clothes, and that was it. Now he's like, Kid Super, like he's like with a boom, So anyway, so this shoe, so the reason why this shoe is important is because it represents the love that my wife has for me. So we get there to Cali. We knew this was the shoe we was gonna get. Like this was actually the whole intent and purpose of the trip. Complex Con was 2 days. So first day we get there and we get to the Undefeated line, and bruh, when I say those savage beasts they literally tried to break down the facade of the installation. Like they had ripped a part of it, like a corner, like apart from itself,
To break in.
to try to like get to the shoot. It was like, nope, we're not having it. We shut it down. Done. First day, done. Dara was in the line. So like she said she saw a dude spit on another man. Like when you spit on somebody,
Nah, that's
in the community,
that's buck wild.
in the community, you spit on somebody, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
it's over for
done.
you.
That's it.
You don't know what.
You know, like
Dude,
whatever consequences happen after that, that's what it is.
that's what it is. Dude, go to the car.
Okay.
On that.
Okay.
And there were other shoes. I actually spent like 4 hours on a line waiting on a whole other shoe. And I didn't get the shoe. And Dara was like, if you ever do this to me again, I will leave you, bro. I will hop back on a plane and I'm going back to Houston and I'm packing my stuff and I'm leaving you. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we're going to turn this trip around. So the next day, we had our game plan. We was like, yo, you're going to go to the line again. I'm going to go to a different line and I'm going to get the Concept Hiatuses, which was basically the Kennedy re-release. And I got those super quick. So I got the shoe. I said, well, where is she? Okay, let me go to the line. So she goes to the line. She's in the line. This time, everybody in the line got a red ticket. So if you got a ticket, you were getting a shoe. Doesn't guarantee you getting your size, but you gonna get a shoe. And so she gets to the spot, gets to the front of the line. Dude, so in the line, dude was like, yo, I will give you $750 for your ticket. She was like, no, I'm getting this for my husband. Done. Gets in the place, buys the shoe. Now, here's the thing. You have to buy the shoe and you have to buy this bag. So you have to buy the bag, which was like the shoe was $180 and the bag was like $200. The bag was $200. So Dara's like, yo, what are we doing? You have to buy a bag for $200. Nobody said anything about a bag.
Yeah.
And she was like, we was fortunate. We had it. We got it. Boom. Dude, she walked out. The same cat. Yo, I'll give you $1,500.
I already knew.
For the bag. And what size he wear? A 9? Oh, $1,500. Dara was like, no, this is for my husband. She was like, bruh, we could have paid for the trip.
The whole trip.
We could have paid for the whole trip with that one payment. I was like, thank you, boo. I appreciate you. And so that's why this shoe stays in my collection for the rest of my life. I'm going to be an old man rocking Air Max 97s, undefeated, 2017. This is 2017 version. You can check the tag. I got the OG box, everything. That makes a difference because this shoe was like way priced up. You checking the tag?
I'm looking at the tag.
Okay.
I'm looking at the tag.
You can check the tag and they make a difference because this shoe was way high market value. And then Undefeated trolled the whole industry and came out with the shoe again. And I know the cats was sick.
Yeah.
Cats was sick. They was sitting on that shoe. Man, this shoe, man, this gonna pay for college. This gonna pay for my kid college. And boys was like, no. But that's the breaks. That's when you know, if you're like, yeah, if you ain't rocking your sneakers, something like that happened to you. Okay, last pair. I'm not gonna talk long. This is the Union one, the first one, because you know they did these and then they did the black toe. Mm-hmm. So this was the first shoe we ever bought, because me and my wife, me and my wife wear the same size shoe.
I did not know that. See, y'all got it made in the shade.
So we saw this shoe, we wanted this shoe, we bought this shoe. and we bought it on GOAT. And it was like $7.95 on GOAT.
which is a steal right now at this point.
Boy,
in
don't
time.
you know it, bro? And so we bought this shoe on GOAT. I got shoe trees in them. Hey, fellas, ladies, buy you some shoe trees. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Buy you some shoe trees. Buy you some shoe trees. Cedar. You know why? Cedar. Well, I know he know, but cedar is keeps the critters away.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put it in your shoe box, you put it in your shoes, keep the critters away. This shoe, man, we wear this shoe. Like, we both wear this shoe. We love this shoe. It's my favorite color. It's her favorite color. Her favorite color is red. Mine is blue. And it's a perfect union of both of those elements. It's just a dope shoe, man. When it wears down, like,
Yeah. It's a shoe that was made to look a bit vintage, but it's still enough room for it to actually be vintage as you continue to wear it. And the quality is just stupid on this shoe. Like the leather, this is such fine leather.
yeah, man, you gotta get that leather. Yeah, man, that tumble leather on the toe box. Yeah, they did the fool with this one, man. And I'm talking about, like, you know, Jordan had never done like this before with a split with Frankenstein style.
Yeah.
No,
Frankenstein design.
Phew. And now look, you know, this is their trademark. That's a lesson you got to learn too. Everybody should have a trademark,
A signature.
a trademark, a something that, like, is them. That is the spark of individuality, uniqueness that the creator put in you.
Agreed.
So discover what that is.
Agreed.
And for Union is this. This. I'm just glad they had this shoe, man, at a great price.
Hey man, every pair that you have here is very dope, and you know, we all have our preference, but listening to you tell the story of these pairs makes me appreciate them even more. Like, know of the shoe, know of the history of the shoe, but not your history with the shoe. So listening to your stories today, man, this is why I love shoes, man. I love sneakers because everything has a story. It may not be the story. It does. Everything for you have a story.
I do.
You could right. So everything has a story. Everything has a story. For you.
True indeed.
So now,
okay,
we're gonna get into. We're gonna wrap up with what books you brought today.
Okay, I brought a few, man. I kind of broke rank, and I brought a few. So I brought them in this bag, the undefeated bag that we had to pay $200 for. God, oh. And I would just kind of, so, you know, you told me to bring books that were impactful, that were meaningful. Right. Two of the books that are not in here, my favorite fiction book and nonfiction book of all time. Fiction book is Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I read it in high school, completely changed my life. No, I'm not a serial, Killer. Because people say if you had that book in your possession,
I've heard that.
And then the nonfiction book is called They Came Before Columbus, which I highly recommend to every Black person, every brown person, specifically people who classify themselves as Hispanic, Latino, Latinx, Latin, Chicano. Like, every person of that framework should read that book, and all Black people should read that book. Okay. Ivan Van Sertima. So, okay, here's some books that I do have. African Woman, The Original Guardian Angel by Dr. Shakamusa Shango tells you how powerful the Black woman is, with historical, empirical evidence. It's a collection of essays. I think everybody should have this book in their collection. who claims to love Black women, who claims to appreciate Black women. You should have this book. Boom. Um, let's see. Oh, this book right here. This book was pivotal to my elementary school. Now you might be thinking like, this dude got a huge, thick. It's called Texas. It's a novel by James Michener. It's a novelization of the history of Texas. And so in the state of Texas, you have to learn Texas history twice. Learn in the 4th grade and you learn in the 7th grade. And so our 4th grade teacher, Miss Garcia, would read out of this book for our Texas history education.
Oh, that would be the book, the book for the class.
Yeah, she would do story time with this book. And like she made it come alive. And so we have a tradition here at CLASS Bookstore. Every March the 2nd, which is Texas Independence Day, the first 5 people to buy, we have this shirt called Black Texas where we take the outline of the state of Texas. We have stickers that are like that. Texas outline. And if you buy a t-shirt with that, you get a free copy of this book. I source them online. I find them. I buy 5 copies of it. And if you buy it, I ship it to you with the book free, with the shirt free of charge.
Okay.
It's that important. Like this book is that important to me. If you consider yourself a fan of Texas, any of that, right? Like you need to have this book in your life. He's also written other books about different states like Alaska, Hawaii. He has a book called Centennial. I think it's about the Centennial of the United States. He's got other novels, right? Histories of different things, but novelized. Yeah. There's a really cool chapter in here about Estevanico, who was the first Black man in the state of Texas, or African man.
Okay.
El Turk, who was a explorer as well. Yeah, it's a really cool book. Super, super cool. Yeah. Next book is Dr. Chancellor Williams, Destruction of Black Civilization. This book, every Black person on the face of the planet should read this book every year for the rest of their life.
Every year.
Every year. So like, I mean, I should have read it 41 times. I'm 41 years old currently. But I've not read it 41 times.
Why do you say that about this book in particular?
Because Ishaka Musa Bell Shango said it, and I feel like if he's erudite and knowledgeable and he's telling us to do something like that, then I think we should do it, the first chapter, Chancellor Williams, who by the way, it took him 15 years to write the book. He went blind doing the research to put the book together because he was studying by candlelight in like Egyptian pyramids. So he said in the first chapter of the book, there's 2 types of people in the world. There's xenophobic and xenophilic. Xenophobic people are individuals who don't like foreigner, like don't like things that are different, who, take. Xenophilic people, who usually are matriarchal, who love people, right? Love other cultures that come in. Hey, come through. Like, we gonna host you at the cookout. We gonna, like that type of deal. And so he leads with that. And so he basically says African people for thousands of years, for millennia, have been xenophilic people. We've always welcomed the foreigner. We've welcomed the stranger. We've brought them in. And so it's called The Destruction of Black Civilization, Great Issues of a Race from 4500 BC to 2000 AD, because he's explaining, these are the points where we went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I was picking up on that.
For sure. This book is called The Tiger by John Valiant. It's a true story of vengeance and survival. So the rundown is, it's based on a true story. It's about a guy. Well, it's about a couple things, but the tiger in question is a Siberian tiger. So Siberia is located in what we know of today as like Russia.
Mm-hmm.
on the east side is where Alaska is, on the west side is where Russia is. And Siberia, there's a breed of tiger that exists out there. It's huge, it's endangered. So there are people who protect humans from the tiger, and those same people protect the tiger from people. So one day this poacher was in the tundra, in the Siberian tundra, or the taiga, Taiga, and he is poaching tigers. Like, he finds a tiger, he kills it, and he shoots another tiger. He doesn't kill it, but he wounded it. So he scampers off, right? So his like little lodge is like three days away. The tiger that survived followed the man's scent 3 days, found the man, killed the man, ate the man, ate his gun, ate the dog that he hunted with, destroyed the whole camp, bro. When they found the campsite, okay, the dudes that protect people and tigers, the only thing remaining of the man was the palms of his hands and the top of his skull. Everything else had been consumed. And they saw these little blotches of gray matter that stunk to high heaven. It's like, what is that? Oh, that's the excrement from the tiger after he ate the man. I was like, yo, that's the first chapter of the book that I just described.
The entire first chapter.
That's the first chapter. That's not even the whole totality of the book. That's the first chapter. This book was given to me by a friend I met on my wife's job. We were out camping in North Carolina, and he was like, "Tell me about the book." I was like, "Yo, I need that book." So I gave him a book in exchange for this one, and so this is The Tiger. This book right here, Indian Chiefs, Russell Friedman, is a coffee table book of Native American tribesmen, chieftains. I actually got this book, the original copy I got in 3rd grade from the teacher in the 4th grade that taught me about Texas history, Miss Garcia. So she gave me this book and she taught me that, yes, it's cool to love other cultures, but your culture is just as relevant. So that's why I have this book in my collection. This book is also written by Dr. Ishaka Musaber Shango, God, the Bible, and the Black Man's Destiny. We regularly sell copies of this in our store. We sell out of copies of this in our store. It's one of our top sellers, God, the Bible, and the Black Man's Destiny by Ishaka Musaber Shango. And the title is, in and of itself, explains what it is. All right, I got a couple more books. I'm gonna be out your head. Lone Wolf and Cub. The first one. This book is this graphic novel is like pivotal to my education as a young Black man in high school. So like this book, I remember in high school having this book, like checking the book out from the local library and like keeping it long after the due date. Cause I would just read it over and over and over and over and over. And I was just like amazed by the artwork, amazed by the story of a father protecting his child.
My book list is
This book, Christopher Moore's Lamb, The Gospel According to Biff, Christ's Childhood Pal. It's a comedy. It's a religious text. It's also a look into what is the life of Jesus told from the perspective of a person who didn't exist but could have existed. It humanized. Jesus was fully human, right. but this book does a good job at like
humanizing the entire experience
of the person who we know as Jesus the Christ. Yeah, great book. God of the Oppressed by James Cone. If you are a person who has turned your back on Christianity, you definitely want to have this book in your collection. God of the Oppressed is written by James Cone, Dr. James Cone, who was a professor at Union Theological Seminary. He was one of the founders of Black Liberation Theology. He, I mean, very well educated, like, taught that Jesus was a black man who suffered under the Roman white supremacist system, was executed by that system. He taught from a revolutionary standpoint, which is why when you read the Bible, it says that Jesus taught not as the Pharisees and Sadducees taught. He taught as one who was from a different mindset. So yeah, God of the oppressed. God is a God of the oppressed. So if you are a part of an oppressed people, disenfranchised people, God is your God, the God of the universe, the God of creation. That's how I'll put that. Two more. This book here is a newer book. One day everyone will have always been against this. One day everyone will have always been against this, by Omar El Akkad, who is a Palestinian. He was born in Egypt, grew up in Qatar, but and then moved to Canada. This book is only a couple hundred pages long, so it's not a long read, but we're reading it for our final edition of the Book with the Bros book club, which is a book club started by a brother by the name of Tay Butler, who's a local artist here, who started an organization called New BAM, which is the New Black Arts Movement here in Houston. Shouts out to him. He's at Project Row Houses as a resident artist, or artist in residence. And so, long story short, one day we were at an event together, and it was a bunch of women. It was a book event. It was like nothing but ladies and us two. And he looked at me and I looked at him. He said, "Man, N-words don't be reading." He just said it straight like that. He said, "N-words don't be reading." And I said, I don't know. I said, "I'm here." He's like, "Yeah, it's just us." And I said, "Well, we just got to find where we at." He's like, "What you mean?" I said, "Man," I said, "we got to find where we at." He's like, "All right, I'm going to take you up on that challenge." So he like puts out the APB online, and he reached out to us. He reached out to another black owned bookstore, Kindred Stories. Shouts out to Kindred Stories. Terry is the owner there. And he was like, "Yo, I want to do something. I want to do a book club with brothers, with black men. And I want to have it at both of y'all stores. We go back and forth and we, break down these books." I was like, "I'm done. I'm game. I'm in. Let's do it." Kindred Story said it too. Like, let's go. Let's get it. And so we've been meeting for like, shucks, man, I would say like a year, a little bit over a year now. Like, it's been great. Like, we've been like crushing these books. So this is the last one for season 1. One day everyone will have always been against this. It's a great book. You should check it out. And it's talking about Palestine. All right. Now, the last book, not quite a book. This thing, I don't know what this is. Let's see. Not quite a book. It's a pamphlet, but it's a very special pamphlet. So if y'all know anything about the book, The ISIS Papers, Keys to the Colors, this is the origination of that book. I don't know how true this is. I'm gonna just say it. I think I have probably one of the best condition, aside from like this little brown stuff,
right.
the rust from storage. I think I have one of the best edition covers of it. This book was copyright this pamphlet 1970. Okay, this is probably the oldest book of the books
of all of them.
Yeah, and it's basically the breakdown of what white supremacy is and why racism exists. It's basically her dissertation distilled into a pamphlet form. That pamphlet was what Public Enemy was passing out before the first album came out, because Professor Griff said, "Yo, like, they're gonna assassinate us. They're gonna murder us. They're gonna like take us out the game. So we need to get the information out to the people as quick as possible. So how can we do that? Okay, well, we're gonna give them Francis Cress Welsing theory. And so yeah. So so this is not for sale. This is not for sale. This is going into an archive deep in a bunker somewhere. And yeah, it's not coming out. But I'm sure if you look it up, you'll find copies of it somewhere. But this one is in pretty good condition and came appointed at a estate sale. So those are the books.
All right, man. You have, yeah, okay. I gotta take a picture of these so I can get into this, man,
Which-
because especially, and it's so crazy. A few of these books, my mentor probably has read,
Okay.
because he has a very, very deep knowledge of a lot of historical context when it comes to our people, right?
See, he be read.
Yeah. So I read, but it's not like this subject, man. It's on other things, but this is deep, and I'm going to get take pictures of these so that I can get into these too, man. You have like really enlightened us today.
I appreciate it. You can get them all at classbookstore.com.
Thank you for that. Just bringing us into your world and how all of this stuff is connected, man. If I have one last thing I want to ask, like if you were speaking to someone younger, right? And I walked in on him mentoring some young ladies earlier about high school, about college, what happens after high school, going into college. And it's it's indicative of who he is, period. Just ever since I've met him, ever since I've known you, man, like that's just who you've been. You've always tried to enlighten and tried to just share the wisdom and knowledge that you have. So if you were speaking, just like earlier when I walked in and you were speaking to them, what is something that you could share with, and it doesn't even have to be a young person, just anybody, period, that you could share with them today that they could carry and take to be motivated. You know the times we live in.
For sure.
And it's not like it's new, it's the same thing in new ways, right?
Mhm.
So what is something that you could share with someone to help them get through these times?
I'm gonna tell you. And this is something I learned the other day. So it's still fresh in my mind, but it resonated so much that I think it would impact a lot of people. Ask people, what do they miss when you're not around
Mm-hmm.
about you? What do they miss? And whatever that thing is, do that.
Okay. Give an example.
When Joe is not around, I miss his level of introspection.
Okay.
Like the way that you ruminate on things as you toke the finest cigars
Okay.
and you speak into that camera from deep within your soul. When I don't see that, I miss that.
Got you. Okay. I got what you mean by that now. With David is the charisma is not the word, but it's I'll say it's the joy. The joy that you have, the joy that you exude in the way that you express, in the way that you articulate your thoughts. And it's not just jumbled up thoughts. You can have 50 thoughts going on and you can articulate each one in concession, just all right, boom, boom, boom. And it's not just all together. The way that you are able to articulate your thoughts and the way that you're able to articulate the knowledge that you have. So I got you. I get you. I get what you mean with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Finally got Fifth Ward all in one building. You know what I'm saying?
Boys don't
And,
understand, man.
hey, man. So,
Oh.
man, I really appreciate you coming on and taking the time to drop so much knowledge carefully, right? You were responsible with everything that you shared, your stories, giving us. I already knew because of who you are, it wasn't gonna be 2 to 3. I do that now, and I was banking
Betting
on
on
it.
that.
I was banking on it.
Yes.
So I'm thankful that you were you, right? Thank you for coming on and giving us a peek into the origins of Class Bookstore and just the ethos of Class Bookstore, man.
Can I say something real quick? Man, I'm not blowing smoke, man. Like, this is the best interview I've ever done in my entire life. Like, for real. The level of conversation that was had here was on a high octane. The passage of the word, right? Man, thank you,
And
bro.
hey, thank you. And I'm glad that you were able to, you feel that, man. So yeah, man. Part one of a few. We just getting started with it. I can't wait to see how you all grow, how you all ascend and elevate within y'all realm, and just in every facet and every aspect that y'all want to delve in. So, um, thank you, brother, for coming on.
Man,
And till next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace.
peace.